Hey, good morning guys, aloha. Welcome to another episode of Big John's Hawaiian Adventures, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to cover North Shore in less than 6 hours. We're going to be hitting up all the main attractions of North Shore and some of the hidden ones as well. Now behind me you have Byodo-in Temple, which means Temple of Equality in Japanese, and this temple was constructed in 1968 by the Japanese Hawaiian Society to commemorate the first Japanese immigrants that came over here over 200 years ago. It is a replica of the real one in Kyoto, Japan, and there are no screws, no nails holding it together. It is completely held by tight-fitting wedges and joints, perfect-fitting pieces, assembled in Japan, disassembled, shipped here piece by piece, and reassembled right here inside the Valley of the Temples. Absolutely stunning. So this temple is located at the foothills of the Kawela mountain range, which is an extinct shale volcano. And basically, you know, what you want to do is, if you want to do North Shore, I usually like to go start from the southeast and work my way up north. A lot of people tend to do it the other way, especially a lot of tour companies. They start from the north at Dole, and then they work their way down. But if we do it reverse, then we don't run into those tour companies, we don't run into hordes of tourists, and also you don't run into that much traffic either if you start early morning and do it the other way, the reverse way. Now also I wanted to show you guys here, the sound that you're hearing is coming from that gong just over there, and they told me that if you ring that gong 3 times, it's supposed to give you good health, longevity, and prosperity. Now also there is a souvenir shop. Let me just show you here. There's a souvenir shop just over there next to Byodo-in Temple, and inside that souvenir shop they have fish food for sale right next to the register, and there is a ton of Japanese koi inside the water here around the temple. And if you get some of that fish food and you sprinkle that fish food in there, you'll get a ton of them come up at once, and it makes for great photos. All right, here we go. Alright guys, so this next stop here is Kualoa Regional Park, and right now you are looking at Kualoa Mountain just behind me, which is basically shown in almost every single Jurassic Park movie. In the background you'll see this mountain. So Kualoa Ranch is just at the bed skirts, as well as Kualoa Valley behind that mountain, which is owned by Kualoa Ranch, and that is where they film most of the scenes of Jurassic Park. And you know, the word Kualoa in Hawaiian means long spiny back, because this mountain actually resembles the long spiny back of a giant sleeping lizard. So let me just show you guys. So if you look right there, that steep hill, that's the head of the lizard. Behind the tree line you have this long ridge, and that's the long snout. And then just over here is the long spiny back, so that's where you get the name Kualoa. The ridge, the big ridge that comes down here, that's its front paw, and the other ridges resemble its rib cage. And notice the tail is missing, right? Well, that's because the tail goes underneath the water and comes out at Chinaman's Hat, which is just behind that building right there. That's the very tip of the tail. Once you have a few beers, you can see it better. But from a bird's eye view, if you ever take a helicopter ride, it really does look like a giant monster or a lizard laying its head down. So this is a really popular spot for picnics, for birthday parties. A lot of locals, they come in here and they throw birthday parties for their kids. It's a really nice place. So let me just show you guys around. All right, so now we're walking up to Chinaman's Hat. The real name is Mokoli'i. It is nicknamed Chinaman's Hat because it resembles a hat. And Kualoa Regional Park, this park right here, is a good way to get a close-up look at that island. Now they say that on a very low tide day, you can actually walk to that island. And there's a trail that leads all the way to the top that people can hike all the way to the top. And you know, 10 years I lived here, I haven't really seen anybody walk to the island, but that's what they say, that on a low tide day you can walk to it. But usually people, they paddle over there with their canoes, and then they hike up to the top of that island. And behind me, guys, you're looking at Jurassic Park Lookout. This is where they film most of the scenes of Jurassic Park, including the famous dinosaur stampede scene where Dr. Grant and the two kids were running down that valley right behind me as the dinosaurs were chasing right behind them. All right, guys, so we are now at one of the most underrated beaches in North Shore. This is kind of one of those locals only beaches where you don't really see visitors much because when people drive up this road at high speeds, they never see this place coming. And from the side of the road, it doesn't look much, but once you step on the beach itself, it's pretty amazing. So the name of this beach is Kawela Beach Park. So let me just show you guys, because the name is kind of hard to pronounce, but you can see it right here. Kawela Beach Park. Okay, so check this out. And look at that, guys. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, so yeah, guys, we are now at Kawela Beach Park. This is one of the most underrated beaches here in North Shore. As you can see, it's a spectacular beach. And I'm actually doing a tour today. We're doing the North Shore photo tour, and I'm here with my friend Giovanni. Say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, he's coming all the way from Germany, guys. Look at that, all the way from Germany to Hawaii. How about that? Thank you so much for coming, brother.
Thanks for doing this.
All right. And this is one of the best beaches to swim in North Shore. All right, guys, welcome to the next stop. This is Kahana Bay, and this is home of Fantasy Island. This is where they shot the opening scene of Fantasy Island, if you remember the famous TV series, where the seaplane landed. This is the bay where the seaplane landed. As Tattoo, that little guy in the white tuxedo, ran out saying, "The plane, boss, the plane!" And this bay is very popular for fishing, also stand-up paddleboarding. You got a lot of sea turtles here as well. And that beach right there is also very popular for camping and barbecues. Once again, name of this place is Kahana Bay. Alright guys, so here we are at Giovanni's, the famous Giovanni's Shrimp, and this place is probably the most famous eatery here in North Shore. You know, North Shore is famous for its garlic shrimp because this is where all the shrimp farms are located, primarily in this town, the town of Kahuku. And this is one of the reasons why the shrimp here is so popular, so good, is because it's never frozen. They literally take it from the farm, which is just a little bit down the road this way, and straight into this food truck. And you know, there's actually a couple of shrimp eateries here in the town of Kahuku. You got Rami's just a little bit further down here, and you also have Fumi's a little bit further down from that. But Giovanni's, I would say, is probably the most famous one. They opened up their main location in 1996, and when they opened up in 96, they were pretty much the only ones out here. It was pretty much a ghost town, and this one little shrimp truck brought in all these people, all this opportunity throughout the years, and it kind of became a mecca of food trucks. I don't know if you guys can see the other food trucks behind me, but there's actually a ton of other food trucks here. So there is other variety of food here besides shrimp. Just keep that in mind. If you are allergic to shrimp, or if you simply don't like shrimp, you can still come here, and there's plenty of other opportunities. But this is definitely the one that you want to focus on here, Giovanni's. There are people, like I said, that come to North Shore just so they can have Giovanni's shrimp. And you know, a lot of people tend to complain, why do they leave the shell on? Are they being lazy? No, the shell is left on to preserve the flavor and the moisture. If you peel the shell, then it becomes very dry and tasteless. So everything is for a reason. And this is freshwater shrimp. You know, freshwater shrimp, it's not as tasty as saltwater shrimp. It's kind of bland. So what they do is they add a lot of this garlic, chili, and oil in order to give it a better flavor. Now, the cool thing about Giovanni's is once you guys get done eating, you can ask for a marker, and you can actually write your name on the truck. So when you guys come back in a few years, and you can be like, hey, look, my name is on that truck. Now, they actually have two other locations. They have another location inside Haleiwa Town in North Shore, at the very northern tip of the island, and they just opened up their third location inside H-Mart, inside H-Mart in Kakako, next to Ala Moana Shopping Center near Waikiki. So this is the entrance to Kawela Bay, and it's literally on the side of the road. And the way you can tell if you ever decide to come back here is you're gonna pass a fruit stand. That's a little fruit stand there. You're gonna pass the fruit stand, and as soon as you pass that fruit stand, you'll see it over here. All these cars parked on the side of the road, and then right over here you'll see a fence. And then between the fence, you'll see the entry point. Okay, and look at this, Jans. This is literally the entrance. This is literally the entrance. That's why this is such a secret spot, because people don't.
I would never go here.
I think they do this intentionally to deter too many people from coming over here.
Yeah.
And this is actually property of Turtle Bay Resort. Turtle Bay Resort is just down that way. But remember what I said earlier? By law, they are required to provide a public path to the beach, and that's what this is.
They built this.
They built this path
because they had to.
They had to by law.
This is exactly how it looks.
Correct. And this is also where they do their horseback rides. They also offer horseback riding, Turtle Bay Resort, and this is the trail where they ride these horses. Now, right over here, these trees, this kind of arch that we're coming up to, these trees are called Hau trees, H-A-U. And oh, look at this, Jans, look at this. This is called a shaman. This is called a shaman thrush, and it's right there. It's a Southeast Asian singing bird, and it makes these beautiful melodic sounds. And as you can see, it's got a soft brown belly and a bluish black coat. Shaman thrush. I wish it would sing for us. Oh, it's coming. communicating with another one just down there. There you go, you heard a little bit.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of these ones in Waimea Valley too. Hopefully we'll hear them sing when we get over there as well. Shaman thrush. But anyways, I was talking about these hau trees. So these are hau trees, H-A-U, and they're part of the mangrove family. And usually you find them growing in coastal areas near the water. And the cool thing about these trees, as they get older, they get more of these twists and turns. And it gets to a point where you can't even tell where the base of this tree is anymore.
And because it goes down again.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's just like twists and turns, and yeah, it gets pretty crazy. Now, I wanted to show you this right here on the left-hand side. This right here, coming up on the left, is a Chinese banyan tree. And this is one of the oldest banyan trees on the island. And the way these banyan trees grow, as the branches spread out, the roots actually come down from the branches. Once it touches the soil, then it sprouts back up again. And this is where they filmed some of the scenes of Pirates of the Caribbean. And here we are, guys. Welcome to Kawela Bay. So this is one of the most hidden beaches in North Shore. If you come here during the weekday, most likely you might be the only ones. Alright guys, here is our next stop. Welcome to Sunset Beach, home of the big surf. This is where they have most of the famous surfing competitions in the wintertime when we get those big winter swells. Usually end of December, the last 2 weeks of December is when they have these surfing competitions. That's usually when the waves reach their peak. And if you do come here end of December, usually the waves here reach to an average height of 20 feet. Now, if you look all the way down on the far left side, you can see kind of where the waves are coming up. That's where the Banzai pipeline is located, right across from Ehukai Beach. And that's where they have the famous Billabong's pipe master surfing competition. Usually, once again, during the last 2 weeks of December, when these waves get really big. Right now, we are in June. This is summertime, and in summertime, the waters here in North Shore become very flat, very calm, and in the winter is when you get those big waves, and that's because of the ferocious storms off the coast of Alaska in the wintertime that generates the big waves over here. In the summertime, those storms dissipate, and as you can see, the water here becomes very calm. Alrighty guys, so we are now at Shark's Cove crater over at Pupukea Beach, and this is the crater of an extinct volcano semi-submerged inside the ocean. And inside the crater is a very popular spot for snorkeling, and the outside part of the crater is a very popular spot for scuba diving, because on the outside part of the crater you have a lot of these hardened lava formations like arches, overhangs, lava tubes, and within these formations you get a lot of these reef sharks that like to hang out, and because of the abundance of reef sharks here, that is why they call it Shark's Cove. But check out the view, guys. It is a absolutely stunning place, and there is the crater just behind me if you can see it. And this is also a really good spot for sunset. If you guys happen to be in North Shore around sunset time, I would also recommend coming over here. The sun sets right there next to the Waianae mountain range. Guys, and we have made it to the last stop on our North Shore tour. Welcome to Dole Pineapple Plantation. You are now looking at the visitor center of Dole, and here we have some bromeliads in the front that make up the letters Dole. Alright, so here's a map of Dole, and as soon as you guys go inside, on the right and a little bit further down on the left, you're going to see the restrooms. If you go all the way to the back, on the right hand side, you're going to see a cafeteria, and this is where they serve the pineapple flavored ice creams called Dole Whips. If you've ever been to Disneyland or Disney World, they're pretty popular over there. So they have the same thing over here, although they say the ones over here taste a lot better than the ones over at Disneyland or Disney World, so you guys can be the judge of that. And then as soon as you get your ice cream, you want to head straight over here to the back. This is what you want to focus on right here. I mean, inside the building here is pretty much like a big old souvenir shop, but the backyard, there is a botanical garden with a variety of pineapples and bromeliads from all over the world. So make sure you check that out. And then on the right side, you have the world's largest outdoor maze. So if you guys are going to go in this one, make sure you got plenty of time. Once again, it is the world's largest outdoor maze. And then you also have the Pineapple Express, which is this little choo-choo train that goes around the garden. Well, there you have it, guys. We have now covered the majority of North Shore, all within 6 hours. So if you guys want to see more of these episodes, once again, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Aloha.